Good morning, gang. So I'm pre-recording this Transformation Thursday because I don't know for sure that we'll have power in Florida because the second hurricane is about to hit. So I'm pre-recording Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday's deals. And if I have electricity in the computer, I'll put the actual file up for you guys to see. If not, I'm also going to have them backed up over in my YouTube channel so I can just from my phone, take the YouTube channel link and put it here. So I've been so excited about this week, the topics, the things that we're going to talk about. So I'm not going to let a hurricane stop me from posting, for heaven's sakes. Anywho, so you guys have known the topic, the theme for this week has been, how do you measure progress? Because we all measure it differently, right? But on Transformation Thursday, that's always in the 55 plus, that's always about how are we going to get our own transformation? It's not about featuring somebody that has had a transformation because my word, Diamond Dallas Page features those all the time, right? Fabulous Friday, Steve Yu makes all these videos of people. So you see all of it, right? But how are you going to get your own? Because that's what we're talking about today. And I'm so excited because I'm actually going to share one of the gentlemen in our family here in the 55 plus. I don't think I've ever featured him before, but I thought he put out a profound question. And so I want to make sure and answer that and have the rest of you as well give input to this gentleman because he's asking about how he can change programs. How should he change a program? Because he's been in the rebuild program and he's not finding that challenging enough now. And so he did a post and asked, I'd love some input. What should I do when the rebuild program just isn't quite challenging me enough? So I want to go ahead and answer that from my perspective, but I hope all of you do as well. Share your perspective about that, right? Okay, hold on. Let's see. Okay, let me share these. Okay, gang. So let's see. So I will take you on as well. I'm going to make sure and share the actual website. So this is Transformation Thursday, you guys. And this is a gentleman in our family I want you to see. I love it. So this is Kevin Jones. Kevin, I love your question because so many of us reach those spots where we just can't quite be challenged enough in the program we're in our app. And where do we begin to know when and how to change it? And I will tell you, first thing I would recommend, Kevin, is are you wearing a heart rate monitor like Coach DDP talks about? Because if you are, that's always going to be part of an indicator of when to shift to a higher challenge. If you're not able to get into the green zone and stay there, you probably are in a program that is a little too light for you. So I'm going to show you, Kevin, and obviously for anybody else listening. So Kevin, when you go onto your app, when you go across the second one over, actually says my programs. And so if you click on that, that therein lies, and I'm going to have to move this down, up in the top right corner, whatever program you're in right now, which it sounds like you're in the rebuild program, you would be clicking on that. You see in my case, it's saying stand strong, right? You would click on that icon and then make choices from here as to an actual program. Okay, so if you've been doing the rebuild program, ironically, that does kind of hit prior to the beginner. So if you have not stepped into the beginner program, this would be the one, hitting beginner. If you have in fact mastered most of the moves, then beginner plus is actually the same level of workouts. It's just less explanation because if you've already done beginner, you know enough. So beginner plus has less conversation in it and more getting right on board. Obviously, if you were doing that, then the next step would be to go into intermediate. But I'm telling you, I can't tell you this for sure, Kevin, that this is the spot to go because it really has to do with, are you wearing a heart rate monitor and are you aware of where your heart rate's running right now with the rebuild program? Because the worst thing you want to do is leap so high that you fail at it and then you're frustrated, right? But same thing, you guys, when you're looking at the intermediate, what's the difference between intermediate and intermediate plus? They're both identical levels. The difference is if you've done intermediate and you know the moves, then intermediate plus just has a lot less explanation on it, okay? But there's another way to look at this too, Kevin, and that is when you go into actually going across the top, when you go into workouts, right? So if you're doing a rebuild, I'm guessing you're pretty much running more on the lower end of our workouts right now. And so here's a way, going across the top, you see the word easy, and then you see a green diamond, a blue diamond, a yellow diamond. You see these? Those are levels of challenge. So if you're in the green, in the lightest one right now, if you click on that actual diamond, so the green that says number 1, if you click on that, every workout that you'd be looking are choices that you could choose at that level all the way down, right? Okay, but if you feel like that's not your level, that you've gone one more up, then click on the number 2, which is one level up, right? And you click on the number 2 diamond. Then notice here, every single workout that you could choose is in fact all blue. So those are great ways to find yourself in a spot that fits. But I'm telling you, the most important thing, you guys, and specifically you, Kevin, if you're feeling like you're not being challenged enough, that's a big indicator that it's time for you to at least step up one level further. And you're going to know if you're wearing a heart rate monitor, you're going to know if you leaped too far, because you'll find yourself just fighting. You'll be in the red way too much, and you're having to modify way too much because you leaped too far. So I love how Dallas always says modify, modify, right? But within that, we do need to be very much aware. If we're, and I don't know you well enough to know, Kevin, if you said you were in the rebuild program. Is it because you had an injury, knees, shoulders, back, hips? Is there an injury involved? Because if there is, that's a different set of answers to that question, right? If there are none of those, and it's just flat out that I hadn't exercised formally in 25 years. When I started on January 20th of 2022, when I started, I hadn't formally exercised for 25 years. So to say that all of it was a stretch for me, it was. And I did the beginner over and over. I can't even remember how many times I did that 13 weeks of the exact same thing, because I had so much to learn and just a habit, right? So the big win is our consistency. And that's why I always say, you guys, I'm the turtle in my own race. That's all that matters to me. I know my goals. SmackDown goals, by the way, are absolutely vital, because that does it. You want transformation? The SmackDown goals are also going to tell you at what point have you set a goal to maybe shift a little bit more time. Like, here's an example. If you're telling me that you're doing 30 minutes a day, 6 days a week, right? Then I would encourage you to find a way to maybe do 31 minutes the following week. Walk a little bit more, whatever that takes. It is incrementally where you're making changes will ultimately take you so much further down the road than you can imagine. And there are so many people, by the way, Kevin, within our 55 plus family, been around for a long time, major breakthroughs in here. You're going to get input from many of them as well today. And I just am so grateful you reached out, had the guts to put the post there, ask the question. And I hope today you get a lot more answers from those of us in our family. Keep going, Kevin. We're cheering you on. No better place to be than in the DDPY family. So love you tons. I'm so excited about Fabulous Friday. It's something you guys may have missed that's pretty profound that DDP himself has done. Love you. Bye-bye.